I am Regular Nas, one of the hosts of Grassroots Podcast, episode 180 on. What's going on, everyone?
I'm splendid, Regular Nas. Your intro is trash. And the fact that Wylson's intro is way better than yours is concerning to me. I just want to be clear. It's concerning at this point. It's fine, though. It's okay. The shades wasn't down. You wasn't in your bag. Like, hairline don't look that much Beijing as it normally does. Like,
I don't use Beijing. You're a hater.
Allegedly.
But look at that light, though. It got his skin and his teeth glistening over there.
Glowing. Look at this guy.
Oh, man. You trying to do an ad over here, Nas?
Yeah, what's happening right now?
Trying. Psych. I'm not going to put the board up. What's up, Aaron?
Well, before we introduce ourselves, make sure you join our Discord. We have a lot of people in our community there. Hit that notification button as well. And like Nas said, I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I'm Brandon Killabh.
Again, I'm the Regular Nas.
Yes, the Regular Nas. Oh my God! All right, so regular Nas. Where are we starting today? How are we feeling? There's a lot going on. We could talk politics. We can talk hip hop. We can talk a little bit of gaming. There's a lot happening right now. So would you like to start?
The Hotel Inn remix without Chingy. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and WAP.
I like that.
How you feeling? Are you liking it? You're not liking it? What are you guys' thoughts?
I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck. I do not like the record for a number of reasons. Right, first, be it I get WAP. Right, I get that. I don't. And y'all know I'm always clown for being the prude and all these things. I just don't feel like that was the necessary anthem that we needed right now, is my point. There's so many other important things going on that why do we have to worry about a WAP? That's one. Two, I kind of feel like it's bad timing on Meg's part. I feel like it's bad timing. I get how it could be good timing considering, all of the shooting incidents and stuff like that. So I get it. I just don't think that this was the right record to circumvent the attention away from the shooting to this record. I don't think it makes sense. I also think too it kind of sends the wrong message a little bit. Honestly, just the lyrics in the music, it just sends the wrong message to women that could be looking up to some of these women. Just my opinion. But again, this is a man speaking. This could be some big women empowerment thing. So again, I don't know. I'm just telling you, outside looking in, on my original listen, when I first heard about the record and wanted to hear the record, I was like, oh shit, this should be a good record. Just because of both of their brands, right? Like, obviously we wanted both Cardi and Meg to be ratchet, shit on men, the normal women empowerment thing that they do. That's what works for them. I just think that this is, it threaded the line a little bit between anthem and raunchy. Mind you, again, we from the same cloth of the Little Kims of the world and all of these things. I just feel like this one was just a little different, given the circumstances. Honestly, just my take.
Nas.
It was all right. I'm gonna be honest. It was okay. It wasn't like dope, like super dope. I thought she should have released a video on that from a marketing standpoint, and I would have had Cardi B jump on a remix for that if I'm going to use Cardi B. It was okay. The video was a little Holiday Inn-ish, with i.e. Chingy featuring Snoop Dogg, and then this what's this? Kylie Jenner. I don't know. I miss the old days. I miss the old days when hold on, Brad. I just want to put this out there. I miss when women in music videos were naturally beautiful. Like I'm not a big fan of the fake butts and the fake lips and just the plastic. I'm not a fan of it. I like natural women. I mean, that's just and then she didn't serve her purpose. She was just walking, and I think they could have highlighted somebody else. She was just walking. Well, it was whack. She added nothing.
I feel like that's interesting too, though, just because with her being in the video, elephant in the room. Remember when Meg was very, very vocal about Jordan Woods and that whole relationship, and now Kylie is in the video. So a little messy there, a little messy, but I get it. It's a good look to just have Kylie strutting in your video with you be one of the women in the forefront in music, and you have another woman directly in forefront, be it Cardi in music, and then you have this other woman, Kylie Jenner, one of the most successful and financially sound younger women coming up right now. So I get it. I just feel like the timing is it just doesn't make sense. The record doesn't make sense. I don't know. E, you are the woman on this illustrious podcast. Tell us your thoughts.
Well, one, I think that if we're going to be in a position where the context of the lyrics, yes, they are definitely a little more towards the raunchy side. But if we feel like that's also not something that should be done, then we also have to evaluate the industry as a whole and look at all of the contextual lyrics in other songs, especially when from male artists, country music, rock. That's one thing that kind of had a problem with, was that there is this little sense of sexual liberation, but also like we as a country are a little bit prudish too, I feel. And on top of that too, it's like, there have been even raunchier anecdotes and symbolism within things like rock and country music and even older songs that I don't think, and this is just me playing devil's advocate, because I feel like the industry has set this standard. The industry, and also partially we as consumers have to take blame that we set this standards for how music is right now. And I think that I don't think this is a song that would work for quarantine time. Now, if it was like last summer, I'm sure, yeah, that could probably work. But I do agree. Like, I don't know if this fits within the energy and environment of what quarantine is. And I think that it would probably even pop off even more if people could even be out and basically be able to dance and twerk to this, it's the purpose of the song, I feel like. But I think that also this just brings a bigger conversation around the representation, the lyrics of women, and especially in hip hop, and the overall just how the industry is how their industry is moving, how people view this, but then don't view certain contextual lyrics within other genres. I think it's a bigger discussion. And then also we're going to see a lot of music that's just going to be put out, just because for those who don't know, the music industries, most of them, or at least I think it's like 40% of the revenue income source that comes in is from touring, and touring is no more right now. And so the music industry has been hit hard by financial damage. So we're going to see a lot of songs that come out that just may not make sense to come out, but they're going to have to put music out to try to make some return on investments, because certain labels, certain industry, certain companies, even certain agencies, they've been letting go of their music touring staff. And so it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's such a weird time in the music industry right now, to be honest. It's really weird.
It's super weird. I agree with you. I think you hit the nail on the head too, just from a release perspective. I want to take it a step further. Do you think that this record hurts Cardi and Meg right now? Now, mind you, again, Meg was due for maybe, let's say, a flop. I'm not saying that this is a flop, but one of those records that just didn't hit yet, right? I feel like Cardi is on a little bit of a run of that, of making records and or being associated with records that, while they perform statistically okay, but for someone of her stature, I don't think that they perform of the same level as they once did. So I kind of feel like this is one of those things where we may see a different Cardi too, right? New management, meaning no management. There's a few other announcements that she made. No management. I think she's independent or she's working on a deal, something like that. Or?
I think the management that Cardi B had before, she did, she switched. She changed management.
Yeah. Not the manager. I'm talking about the label situation. What's the label situation?
I believe she's under Rock Nation, but
correct.
She changed her management, so she's being represented by her lawyer now.
By her lawyer. That's what it was. Thank you. That's what it was. I find that to be interesting. I just find that to be interesting, but I get it. I get why. I 100% get why. But I don't know. A part of me feels like Meg is all right. She can get a little bit of a pass because I feel like you can chalk this up to a few different things. I would caution Cardi right now, just because, again, as quickly as you're on the top, as quickly as you can fall when you don't meet the bare minimum from an artist perspective when putting records out of the quality that consumers are used to consuming based off of your brand. So I would just caution her with that, to maybe want to take a step back. The same person you see doing that now is kind of like Nicki. It's just Nicki is just partnering with different people, and it's kind of working for her. But if you're paying attention, like, Nicki by herself is not really, it's not pushing the way it once was. And I think that that's partially the reason why she got, kind of quiet outside of the her becoming pregnant. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Nicki solidified though.
Yeah, correct. But I'm saying
it's solidifying. She got 75 M's behind her. I mean, how much more work does she really need to do?
She doesn't have to, and that's my point. Cardi and Meg are approaching, if not on the helms, right? And I think, you don't think so?
Listen, man, Nicki's spot.
Not Meg right now. Not Meg. I'm talking about Cardi. Just Cardi.
Cardi's hot for right now. Nicki had a consistent run of hits. Mm-hmm. Like she's been on big, huge records.
You're saying the same thing I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, right, like,
then we're in agreement.
Yeah, okay. We're in agreement. I'm saying Cardi right now has to be careful. Meg could kind of take a little bit of a few chances right now. She's still a very, very new and young artist. If I'm her and her marketing team, I can just chalk this up to, hey, we wanted to put something fun out. We had a bad experience, but there's mad ways you can clean this up.
Wait, so I'm gonna butt in here. So it's Chris again. Wait, so she's still signed under 300. Let me just correct that real quick. That's Megan. So I think the reason, I had a theory, but like, I think we're not feeling this joint because this WAP joint, because doesn't it feel like super manufactured to you? Everything from like the sample to the video to the Kylie appearance. So going off of E's point, I think this is maybe directly related to it. Maybe, do you think the record label just doesn't know how to maneuver into this quarantine? And that's why we have these manufactured like twerking joints that, there's no one really out right now. So it can't really.
Yeah, man, you trying to twerk in the living room, Chris?
Yeah.
No, I'm not twerking in the living room. I promise you that.
Yeah. You know what? Yes, Chris. Yes, I think it is a little bit of mismanagement with the labels. I think that's mismanagement with everyone across the board, though, just because we're all trying to figure it out. I also think, though, if I'm keeping it a buck, I think that Meg is hot right now. Hotter than any female artist right now, just simply off of music and simply, unfortunately, off of the whole shooting situation. I think that the label or whomever her handlers were probably looked at this as a great opportunity to say, hey, yo, Meg's force right now is crazy, right? It's off the charts. We should be able to capitalize on this. Let's put a record out. I know how it works. Like, I get it. It's the same way where you see different artists go viral, and then you'll see those same artists, like when they're posted on different websites or blogs, you'll see those same artists in the comments fueling that to keep it going. It's very clear when there's a hidden marketing plan behind it and all of those things. I just think this is right now, and I get it. I know it's the number one record and all these things. I get all of that, right? I get it. Mind you, there's no other records competing with this. I want to preference that. It's easy to be the number one record when there's nothing else out there. No shade. That said, I think that this was a clear miscalculation. I think we'll see it long term. We're not going to see it right now. Like, all that's going to happen right now is you're going to see Cardi, Meg, and their whole camps defend, well, yo, y'all hating on this record. This is about women empowerment, and the numbers speak. But it's like, does it really?
I could argue. I could argue that I don't think this is going to impact Meg as much as it is Cardi, to be honest. I think Meg.
No, I'm talking about Cardi. I'm talking about Cardi.
Specific Cardi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're in line with me and Nas. Yep. Yeah.
Also, another thing, what's really, really interesting during this time? You know how before quarantine, right? The rollout plans for big and established artists was always like the highlighted point, and then for those who were trying to establish themselves, it was a lot harder. Honestly, I could see quarantine flipping the script where it's becoming harder for established artists to really keep that quality and consistency now. And if anything, I think this is a bigger opportunity for artists whose labels haven't really done entirely right by them. Like, for example, Normani in there, I feel like as an artist, this is a great opportunity for the artists like Normani and some others who are established, but they're still trying to figure out what is their sound like, because there's not that much competition right now. And if anything, labels should be pushing harder for artists like Normani. So like we don't want a situation. We don't want a Tinashe situation where labels just don't know what to do with the artist. However, I feel like this is a great opportunity for artists who may not know kind of what their lane is, or they just weren't pushed as heavily as before. This is honestly the best opportunity to start doing it right now.
Agreed. I agree with that 100%. I guess we could move on from there. So I guess we'll see how this one plays out. I don't know that it's going to be good.
That Girls in the Hood remix should have went, man.
Nas, on the low, I blame you for this.
Why?
You were the one that said you were going to get the Ladies Night remix together. You've been saying that for ample amount of episodes. You have yet to do that. You were supposed to usher in. Hold on, let me blame you. You were supposed to usher in this change, and you did not, fam. This is partially on you.
Yo, can you imagine if she would have did a remix of Girls in the Hood and then said, "Yo, y'all shot me in the foot, but I'm still good," and Cardi B.
Oh my god!
And Cardi jumped on there. That would have been lit. Oh, West Coast.
That would have been fire. That would have been fire. I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Honestly, even if they like kind of switch. Okay, sorry, my brain's going somewhere. So I just think that, having like something like that, like an anthem, if they just adjusted the lyrics and like, even if they like had like not only the newer talent, because obviously we saw like Rosalia and like Mulatto, but like even if it was like, what if instead of a Kylie, what if it was like Little Kim that made that cameo appearance? Like that issue would have been fire.
Listen, if you pick Kim, Foxy, or somebody like that
in different rooms with the young ones too. Oh man,
that's how you buy your record.
This is what happens when you get rid of artist development and street teams.
Listen. You playing? It's the truth. Even though this isn't really artist development, this is more
marketing. This is
strategic marketing, planning, forecasting, segmentation, that sort of thing. This isn't A&R. That's not artist repertoire. Even though it kind of is too, though, because even how this whole debacle has been handled, that's where the artist repertoire kind of comes into play. That's where you coach people on how to do, different statements and how to handle things emotionally, mentally, what things to avoid, what pitfalls. There's so many different avenues with that. But I just feel like it's one of those things where if we continue to kind of, I don't know, I guess support, for lack of a better word, I think more and more we're going to start to see things like this, and it's going to start to change the way we consume music. It's because now everything is just so sensitive. It really, really is for obvious reasons, right? Like this right now where we are, it's very difficult. You have to be very, very smart with releasing shit, especially when it's like that. So yeah.
We won't be seeing this on TikTok.
Yeah, nah. Well, speaking of TikTok, we can jump right into that. Good segue. Way to pick it back up after you fumbled the football. Let's go. Go, Nas. Let's go.
Well, no, TikTok. Trump is trying to ban TikTok. Microsoft is trying to buy TikTok. There's I don't like TikTok. I'm old like that. TikTok is stupid to me anyway. So, man, that's what Chris likes TikTok. Chris is out there.
Wait. Nah, I actually had a question for you. So I actually put it down on the rundown. But how, actually maybe for all you guys, how concerned are you for your kids or future kids, security and personal information? Because now that these kids might be on TikTok. Say your daughters might be on TikTok. How
they tried.
How comfortable are you?
My little nieces was on there oh, we gotta get TikTok on. Nah, it's over. Because you know what? There's so many. The laws haven't caught up yet with social media, right? So that you could get away with social media bullying and things like that, and getting IP addresses and so forth and so on. But TikTok, I think certain social media needs to have an age limit, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it because it's like, oh, you trying to monitor our freedom or stifle us. Mm-hmm. But you need an age limit because I don't want my 6-year-old and 3-year-old on TikTok dancing and then some pervert has access to TikTok because there are a bunch of registered sexual offenders who can still have access because the laws haven't caught up yet. So they can have access to certain social media, unless they're like super, super big and and that's in their restrictions. But other than that, I don't want my daughter's faces out there like that, man. Like for real. I feel like it's
already too late. I feel like we've been doing this for quite some time. Like I was explaining this on my social media. It's like even Instagram, all of these social media sites that we use, the moment you sign up, you're already signing off to relinquish some of your proprietary information for these third-party apps. That's just a given, right? TikTok's they take it a step further in regard of the fact of them trying to market things to you, right? Like they're using that information or could potentially use that information to then you go to another website and then they're showing you things that they want you to see. It's one of those, it's a marketing tool, but it's almost one of those like dirty marketing tools because you're brainwashed, right? Like it's like, oh, I'm thinking about something. And then you go on to Facebook or you go on to whatever the browser, wherever you're at, right? The moment you go in there, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see an ad for whatever it is that you were speaking about, whatever it is that you saw in this app, or whatever it is that you searched that TikTok now gives you or gives them access to viewing. So it's dangerous. At the end of the day, we don't know what that information is being used for. We don't know where it's housed. We don't know the severity of it, how long it's been happening. There's so many different variables with it. And I think that the biggest thing right now is the fact that while, the world hates Trump, he's actually right about this one. He's right. This is a problem. This is a problem. Now,
well, I hate to break it to you all, but I'm not saying this is right, but everyone already has our data. Like the second that we went more for accessibility and easy access was the day that we gave up our privacy. So for everyone to say, oh, TikTok's going to take our information to so many companies, the government and everybody else, they all have our data information. It's just, that's something that's been, it's already happened. It's already done. So like, if you're worried about it, you should have been worried about it a long time ago because that ship has already sailed, I hate to say.
Well, I agree. I agree with you.
I read something and I posted it on Twitter that Generation Z, that's the people born 2010 and after, they're the unhappiest generation so far, despite having low levels of drinking, drug taking, teen pregnancy, and antisocial behavior. So that means, that translates to me that like they're on the phone too much. They're involved in social media too much because there's so much peer pressure that you have to, I got to catch up with E. I got to catch up with Brandon. I got to catch up with Chris. They're over here doing this and I'm not, and it seems the perception is I'm not doing anything. They're moving and I'm stagnant. So now I'm unhappy with myself and then I'm going to post these fake pictures up here. Whereas Brandon and I and E, the millennials, up towards the upper, closer to Generation X, is just like I know how to put the phone down. I know I can just go out. I can socialize with my friends. I
be waiting to disconnect.
Yeah,
I be waiting to disconnect.
Dead ass.
I can say we don't need, and Chris, we don't need the phone. It's nice to have, and we know how to use it to get what we want. But it's not. Oh my God, what's everybody doing? I can easily disconnect, and I don't need it. So that's what I worry about with TikTok and on all these other future apps and social media platforms. We're going down a dangerous path. And I think for my children, I'm nervous. And for the future children and children now that you don't have mandatory therapy yet in society.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So it's a dangerous game that we're playing right now.
It's a give and take, honestly, because we just have to figure out what that balance looks like. Because yes, I agree with you. Like, I know some people who don't even know how to have a conversation with someone, and it's really troubling. However, there's also been so many benefits and positivities. Like, social media has pretty much removed gatekeeping in the sense of like certain industries and certain companies that previously, before social media, were able to gatekeep who could come in, especially when it comes to people of color or even women. You can't really do that now with social media. It's a little bit harder to do that. So like, for example, an artist, right? There's a whole different process for getting signed to a label and to negotiate your contract. Now, social media has given power to creatives to be able to get the best deal, to be able to say, no, I'm not going to sign with you. I can do it on my own. And it puts the power in certain individuals. And also, I feel like it's also helped certain people from low-income areas be able to use something that they don't have to spend a whole lot of money on to become successful. So it's like social media it's been a blessing and a curse. It's just, it's our responsibility to figure out that balance. And it's also our, another thing too, it's the responsibility of our government to know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to social media. That's why these social media companies are running rampant with doing whatever they want, because we have people in certain positions that don't know anything about social media. You can't just be blaming being older or not paying attention to what's going on with social media as a way to be ignorant and have that be a reason why there's not certain regulations and things that are being placed when it comes to Facebook and all these other, and even Google. I just think that there's a certain level of ignorance from a legislation standpoint. That's why some of these things are happening, and the shit gotta stop. Like, we need to have more people who understand social media, like AOC, or at least have the other people get educated on it, so then we can put certain measures in place so that, it doesn't impact the youth as much, or the data breach and everything like that won't be as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I said them old people been sitting up there in them high chairs for too long.
Yeah, definitely.
They've been sitting up there for too long, ignoring it. When you start eating and everybody's paying for you to say this and paying for you to say that, who cares about? So you have an intern that handles social media, so I don't know it. But but like that's but we understand it because we're in it. They're not in it, man.
Yeah, makes them look dumb though when they ask a question in the hearing, and freaking Mark Zuckerberg is like, "Yeah, that's not Facebook. You're talking about Twitter."
You talking about Twitter? Super jab. Ooh, super jab. But I feel him. Yeah, make that clear. Don't associate me with that shit. I feel him. Don't associate me with any film.
And that microaggression.
And all that bullshit. Yeah, I'm with the grown folks. Keep me over here. Y'all go do that stupid kid shit. Keep me right over here. I feel him. Sir, I 100% feel him. Yeah, that's Twitter, sir.
Yo, Wylson, what do you feel about TikTok and Microsoft? Good to have you.
Thank you. Well, as far as Twitter and Microsoft go, isn't TikTok? Are we talking about TikTok or Twitter?
Well, it's Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, social media. But
as far as TikTok is an actual threat, though, right?
Yeah.
As far as from what I've heard,
China. At least I think so.
China. So it's no longer a threat if Microsoft buys it.
Technically, I don't think it would be, just because that's an American company, and at least we would have ownership over it. And then
so
I'm sure that they would be able to change.
Comes to America.
I don't know that. I don't know about all of that. But I mean, if you're talking ownership, if I'm an American company, U.S. company, and I purchase a foreign company like TikTok, then yeah, that would have to come to there, or we just manage it in China.
Honestly,
but wherever.
Honestly, I'm for the ban of TikTok because too many girls have been asking me to do TikToks with them, and I dead them all like a jerk. So I'm for the ban of TikTok. It's not my thing.
Oh my God.
What a Grinch. What a Grinch.
But guys,
you're great.
Also, I feel like this, I mean, I'm not saying that the ban is wrong or anything like that, but then also this makes it, we have to also evaluate the other businesses that we're getting involved in as well. Like, gas, right? In terms of the relationships with the Middle East and like there's just, I feel like, yes, I understand the TikTok thing, but also there are other businesses that other people aren't paying attention to, where there are overseas countries that have such a hold and such a political hold as well when it comes to their relationship with the United States. So it's not just a TikTok thing that people have to understand. It's more than that. But also, when it comes to politics, they're always gonna make the decision based off of what is going to help them get the seat and keep the seat.
Yeah.
Very hypocritical.
Yeah.
Politicians are hypocritical.
100%. I agree with that.
They go for the money. They go for the money. Well,
this is big business though, too, though. Yeah, this is big. Yeah, let's be clear. This is also very high level big business. This is us being privy to the little bit of the mud, but I'm sure, you know, the rabbit hole goes a little bit further down than what we know and are aware of. I'm certain of that. He wouldn't be going as hard, yo. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, Trump is a businessman, yo. He's a businessman, right? And the one thing you can give this guy credit for, he's good at business. He's successful at business. So for him to be so aggressively doing this, it has to be for something outside of distraction purposes, But there's a reason why. And I don't know if that's, you know, to benefit us as U.S. citizens or himself long-term or business people long-term or just people in general, like protecting our privacy. But
he might be. Listen, I heard he lowered the price of certain medicine for people on Medicare.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about that. Like, I don't agree with the guy. I know they're going to call me Republican Nas. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he does. Yeah. But you're lowering the price for people on Medicare, like, that's beneficial for the people out there, for the citizens, the denizens of this country.
He's also working on making it so that people making under, I think, 100,000 don't have to pay payroll tax.
Yeah, for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah. And also unemployment. He lowered the unemployment as well.
But see, here's my only thing with all of this good shit. All of this sounds great, right? I'm really scared that he's gonna make people pay that back.
He's not. He's not.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, even these checks that we're getting right now, you're getting that now. There's no word that we won't have to pay them back. Right now, they're saying, well, no, you don't have to pay
if anything,
it back.
If anything, it might come out of future tax returns.
Out of your future taxes, but that's still paying it back. That's my point.
Then how much? But then how much will we pay back? Because if he's lowering it from a 600 weekly benefit to 400 per week supplement payment, would that then be? Would that be lowering the payback then, or do you guys feel like that's not going to be the case?
Well, I don't think that would have to be paid back. The unemployment aspect of it, but as far as like stimulus checks,
the stimulus doesn't have to be paid back either.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they would have said that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That wouldn't have passed.
You can't give me 1,200.
I'm just asking a question, Nas.
I'm not coming at you, but I'm saying, but these are the things. That's the stuff that they put out. The people that oppose Trump, that's what they put out, because one, Biden hasn't picked a partner yet. We're in the middle of August. He has not picked a VP yet. He's still stumbling over talking about how African Americans are a monolith and not diverse enough as compared to the Latino population. Yeah. Like all he does is disrespect us. Like I get tight. Like I don't like either one of them. I really do not like either one of them this election. But I'm not gonna sit there and vote for you just because you said if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
I'm not gonna lie. I like my racism on the surface, personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it on the surface.
What I'm dealing with.
Lay it on me.
On the low. Yeah, lay it on me. Yeah, lay it on me. I'd rather know, number one. Number two, that rubbed me the wrong way. I don't like that. I didn't like that statement at all. Don't tell me I'm not black just because I don't want to vote for you. Now I just don't want to vote for you at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm just gonna be that guy. Like I don't think that and I get it, right? Like we know how Biden's giving it up. Like we get it, right? Like he's a man of the people. He's definitely for minorities. That's very clear. I just think don't be too comfortable and don't get too comfortable with some of the things that you say and some of the things that how you go about it. Because just because you're going about something a certain way or you may have good intentions does not mean you're going about it the right way. And that's the problem right now. His intentions could be all for Americans, could be all for bettering U.S. citizens and fixing all different sorts of legislations and whatnot. But how you go about it, that could change how people view you and how people treat you. So yeah, I don't really care for that statement that was made, honestly.
It's just 2020. It's just a shit show, man. It's just like, you know how we always say go with the lesser evil, But it's literally like, go with the lesser evil, the less complicated, and go with what's not going to just fuck us up super long term. Like, it's just...
Agreed.
It's just a lot to process and a lot to have to deal with at this point. And then on top of that too, it's like you have one president who has these surface level racial epithets and tensions tied. Then you have Biden and then having that problem. But then you also have the president, currently whose words have been cited more physical, aggressive harm and race and public display of racism a lot more on a more violent and bigger level. It's just like, oh my gosh, which one do we pick? Like, this shit is crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just don't feel. I don't feel like we're heading down the right path at the moment. Just with like all of these different things that just keep happening within this election. I don't know. Yeah. I also feel like Trump is scared too. I also feel like Trump is scared. We're ignoring that. We're not going with Kanye. We know we're not going with Kanye. There's no reason to go with Kanye. You don't even feel comfortable with Kanye being your president. Like, just stop it.
Just saying.
That makes absolutely no sense. No. We know which ones we're not picking. He's on the list.
Listen,
got options.
Let's remember. Nope, you can always write. We can always write in anyone. But let's not forget, President Obama did not let Joe Biden do public speaking that often in them 8 years. Yeah. Think about how many times Biden was actually in front of a mic. And before
that's why, because he was talking crazy. Every time he got in front of a mic, he was calling people idiots and dummies.
Listen, in 94, during the mass incarceration, that was Biden who was chanting, lock them SOBs up. Mm-hmm. That was him. Like, he thinks people forgot. I didn't. You could pull a fast one on them other people, on them other bands.
Yeah, man. I'm with you. I can't, and I like Biden. I think we all kind of like Biden starting out, right? Like, just from his morals and principles that he displayed, right? Like, we loved him. Obviously, with Obama, we loved when he would curse out all of these different people, and then we would make jokes about it. But now that he's the actual the potential guy that is going to be the leader of the free world, I don't know that I'm all that comfortable with his methodologies at this point, just off of what he's displaying. It's uncomfortable for me. It doesn't make sense. And I get it. You want to support minorities. I get all these things. All that's great. But the way he is going about it is starting to look really nasty for me. Really nasty.
Yo, man. So. On top of that, China's preparing for a war with us. Just that there've been murmurs in the Southeast. Just waiting. Mm-hmm. Do you want Biden in control of that? Or you want the dude that's like, yo, I'm down for whatever. I know 45 he's with the shits.
45 is definitely with the shits. Like, 45 is with the shits. But I mean, I don't know. I just kind of feel like we're in one of those spaces where every election now, we're tasked with picking from the worst of the litter. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's never a strong candidate that it's like, yo, this is the person. Like, outside of, we all felt like that about Obama, but again, he has his flaws too, right? But again, that's inheritance of flaws and messes that most presidents have to clean up. We already went through that in the last episode and episodes prior to. We're talking just strictly that feeling. Like, I feel like the last time we got that feeling and it was ruined for us was Clinton. I feel like that's when people were happy. Like, when we were like, all right.
We had a surplus. The country had a surplus.
But that's my point. That's my point. I'm saying, like, that's the last time where we were kind of all in unison chanting hooray. Where now it's like every election, it's like, oh, there's one candidate that's really, really good, but then he gets washed. Or there's another candidate that does really, really good that you think is going to do well, but polling wise, falls short. And then you get stuck with the bulk of the people, right? You get the Bidens of the world, you get Trump, you get maybe a Bernie Sanders, and let's sprinkle in a Hillary. And then from there, it's like, now it's like, all right, which way do I want to get fucked? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what it is.
Yeah, I think that the main focus for whoever's going to get elected next is COVID and the economy. That's and I mean, obviously there's other problems that are happening, but in terms of the United States, that's all we're focusing on right now. And I guess you could say the battle against China and Russia, right? Those seem to be like the three main focal points that are going to be tied to, especially with the election. This one is going to be very, very. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even if the polls look one way. I feel like it's going to be just so different this time, just because. You have some people that may not be voting because they're trying to deal with life. Even with the mailing system, they were talking about just some weird stuff with the mail-in ballots and just even with the communication of the information with what's going on with the rules and legislation for COVID. Honestly, I think right now more than ever that I think people are going to be paying attention not only to the presidential election, but they need to start paying attention to what their state and local government is doing. Because even from like COVID, right? New York City local government New York government is handling the situation well. And then you look over in California and it's like an entire mess, right? So I hope people pay attention to that a lot more. This is not in our rundown, but I feel like we need to talk about this. Guys, today, it's been 12 years since Bernie Mac passed away. Today.
Man, I ain't scared of you sons of bitches. Bernie Mac was the man, yo. He was a funny
all of
dude.
that still feels unreal, though. Like, even as you said that, I forgot that Bernie was dead, man. Like, I keep hearing, like, these actors that I loved or whatever, and I'm like, oh, man. And I'm like, oh, shit, and then it dawns on me, they're no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, damn, wow, 12 years.
I know.
Damn.
It's been a long time. I saw that, and I was
already?
like...
Wait, hold on. That shit is blowing my mind right now. 12 years?
Yeah, man. He passed away August 9th, 2008.
Damn.
I was
Mac,
man.
A long time. That's
Jesus,
crazy.
That's crazy. That's nuts, man. R.I.P. Bernie Mac, man. Legend. Do we want to talk about Beirut tonight? Let's talk about Beirut real quick, man. Let's just give them some love before we get out of here.
Yeah. Who wants to break down the information too on Beirut? I know a lot of people saw the clips, but we should probably add additional information. Who wants to read it?
Yeah, word.
Yeah, no, I don't have. Let me see if I have it up.
Well, shit. You read it then, because they don't have it up.
Okay, so there was obviously you guys saw in the clip that there's an explosion at one of the Beirut port on Tuesday, which killed around 150 people. Chris, let's double confirm what the death toll is now, because I know that that was around the time that they were figuring it all out. Wounded thousands and caused destruction across half the city. They said it was an accident, possibly the outcome of neglect on a massive scale. Officials have launched an investigation looking at the port warehouse that had held 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, a chemical used for fertilizer and as an ingredient in bombs. In 2013, a ship filled with 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stopped at the Lebanese port. It had a Russian crew, and reports say it was bound for Mozambique.
Mozambique.
The ship's former captain told the news this week that they had been instructed to stop in Beirut to pick up more cargo, but there was a legal dispute over port fees, and the shipping company was in debt. Lawyers representing some of the crew said in 2015 that the ship had stopped at the port with technical problems. Ammonium nitrate, a fairly common cargo on the oceans, was impounded and unloaded. The crew had to stay on board for nearly a year and was then released. The port's customs director says he sounded several alarms about the material. Since the blast, some port officials have been placed under house arrest.
Yeah, so as of today, it's 158 confirmed deaths, over 6,000 injured.
Man.
So I guess the main gist of it is that it sounds like it's an accident. So somebody just left a ton of explosive material down by the port, and so prayers to Beirut.
That's a crazy accident.
That's nuts.
I have to say, even you saying they accidentally left highly explosive materials down at the port, like, even that sounds wild.
It all sounds wild to me. It all sounds wild.
Could you? Man, that shit was crazy. Yeah, well, 158. That's the bodies that they found.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just, it feels like it's one thing after another. Like, I even read a story from a nurse who said, you know how there's like traveling health practitioners and nurses and doctors, like how they all went to New York and they're going to like the hotbeds. I read an article where one of the nurses said that in Texas, pretty much all of the patients that she is handling, they all have died. She's like, that wasn't the case in New York, but she's like, every single one that she's handling have been dying in Texas. So it's crazy reading everything. And then also they had not too long ago, there was a doctor too who contracted COVID, and she they said, you know, she took her own life, and they were saying that, you know, the hardships of having these patients pass and you're trying to help them, like, it's just a lot, man. It's really a lot right now.
Do people understand that our ancestors, and even as far as close as our grandparents and some of our parents, have been through worse? Like, I really want people to understand, like, you got to find, I know it's hard right now, but you have to find the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, people have been through way worse than
are you talking about all of 2020?
Do you know the hardships of slavery?
Of course.
Like, do you understand that somebody could just come up and take your wife and rape her in front of you?
Yeah, well,
can
no.
Take your, like, parents,
of course.
Babies.
Of course, if you're going to pull out the Trump card, slavery, slavery was crazy. But you do know that there's still an extension of slavery. There's more incarcerated.
It's called sex trafficking.
There's more people incarcerated than there were ever slaves. More black people.
We can identify. We can identify both. That's another problem that I have with just society. Our ancestors had hardships, and it's also hard for us right now. I think we can agree to both in the same sentence, right?
Well,
and not downplay the past.
I'm not saying that it's not hard. What I'm saying is, you have to learn. People, not you specifically, but people have to learn to find that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it's not all doom and gloom. Like,
but it's kind of hard to say that, though, because people have been living so good for so long now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And now we also have things like the internet. You can find multiple ways to entertain yourself throughout the day,
right? And
be happy. So when something bad happens, of course it's going to hit you a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the point that I'm making is I wouldn't look at somebody and be like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way because people back then had it harder.
Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying, like, you can find it's okay. It's okay that it's difficult, but don't sit there and just wallow in your sorrows.
Some people have really
you have an iPhone. You have an iPhone. You can go outside. Like, there's a multitude of things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can reach out to somebody and literally say, like, yo, I'm feeling sad today, Brandon. Okay, yo, let's talk about it. Yo, I'm feeling sad today, E. All right, well, let's talk. Let's point out something good that happened to you today. You couldn't do that way back. Yeah, even in the late 70s and 80s, you couldn't just do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
You know, it's just like, I don't like just the constant doom and gloom and negativity, not just with the pandemic, just news in general.
Just in news in general, yeah. Just news in general. I have a tough time watching news. I have a really tough time watching news for that reason.
Yeah. I mean, but listen, it's okay for us to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I keep saying, it's okay for us to see the light at the end of the tunnel and also say something's hard. It doesn't have to be one has to be true over the other. I think that people are saying that. And and I guess the best way to kind of explain is, like, by saying that, Nas, someone is probably telling you, hey, I'm having a rough day. By saying, hey, shit has been really bad. We also have to keep in mind how people communicate. Just because they have social media does not mean that everyone's going to communicate the same way. We also have to keep in mind, you know, the mental health aspect of it and how therapy is not accessible in general. Even before COVID, it was not as accessible to people, you know, and that's one of the problems. And then on top of that too, there's information coming out that some people who are getting affected by COVID are having these long-term effects, and some of it is brain damage, right? So it's like there's so many different things that are contributing to this overall. And yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, because even if we look at history with previous pandemics, right, they all eventually end at some point. we don't know when that's going to happen, but it will end at some point based off of just how history has been. But, you know, none of us have dealt with a pandemic, right? So when you have a factor that no one has really dealt with, I mean, the only ones that probably dealt with it were the polio. Like the older generation that they dealt with that, but none of us have ever dealt with anything to this magnitude. The same thing that, like, you saw how everyone just didn't know how to, like, emotionally process 9/11. Yeah. You know, for some people, that's something that they never dealt with, you know?
I mean, aside from just looking at this pandemic, like this right here is, oh man, I was going to say something. I know it was going to get cut out. I know it was going to get cut out. Oh, not to compare it to slavery, but this would be like
Chris, mark this.
Yeah, mark it.
Just mark it.
Just mark it. So today, this pandemic is almost like, it's not equivalent to slavery, obviously, but it's like slavery for everyone else. Because to a certain degree, your freedoms have been taken away. You can't go to the gym. You can't. Man, some people can't go to Starbucks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
thanks, Chris.
Like people, like,
thanks, Chris.
What? The torment. The torment. I didn't get my lunch.
Yeah,
like I don't know what he's talking about right now.
That's what I'm saying. For certain people, well, for all of us, this pandemic is taking away your freedom.
Yeah, but I think
that's got to be
compare
hard.
It to compare it to racism. I think this is more compared to being incarcerated.
But here goes why. Here goes why
slavery.
It hits a little harder though. Here goes why it hits really hard though for people, because these days, in this day and time, life is particularly sweet. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
To have everything taken away from you, including your job. And everything, like that's gonna hit people really hard. That's gonna hit people really hard, yo.
Agreed. I just don't think it hits as hard as slavery.
My dating life has suffered tremendously. Okay?
Stop.
That's great.
Stop. Just stop.
Yeah, that's great.
It's a pandemic. It's a pandemic. AIDS is still out there. Herpes, gonorrhea.
Yeah, there's so much happening. Yeah, there's so much happening.
And people are still are not using contraceptives.
Oh, I'm sorry, condoms don't exist anymore?
Wait, I'm actually curious about that. Do you think the pandemic's going to lower the STD rates?
No.
No, I think it's going to increase.
Oh, maybe.
You think it's going to? You think
Yeah.
It may increase though. It may increase too.
But where would it increase? Because there's some people who aren't trying to.
Oh, but it had to dramatically impact one night stands.
Oh, it definitely it impacted all of that stuff. It impacted all of that.
And if I had to take a guess, that's probably how diseases are spread mostly. I'm no scientist. I'm close.
We're clear on that.
But if I had to take a guess, that's how they're mostly spread.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I think pandemic definitely, the numbers are going to be jaded. They're going to come out like, the numbers have dropped. The numbers have dropped. Yes, because nobody was out there wilding out. You know?
Yeah, hold on.
He makes a good point.
Yeah, but are we just going to not acknowledge that Fauci has yet to been able to figure it out, but Wylson figured out how this is being transferred?
Well, yeah. I don't even know who Fauci is, but yeah, I'm not surprised at me coming to the conclusion beforehand.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's great. Oh man, all right, guys, this show's been great.
Wait,
a great show.
Okay, I got.
I want to end, Chris.
I got a question.
I want to end.
So I've been seeing a lot of responses to the last episode. One, did you catch the versus battle between Rick Ross and 2 Chainz? And 2, are you ready to apologize for picking 2 Chainz?
Okay. Number 1, I hate you, Chris, because I thought I was going to slide this episode. I thought I was going to get out of here without having to address that. But as far as the verses go, unfortunately, I told you guys in the group chat, for some reason the live kept on getting disconnected. I don't know if that was happening for everybody, but I kept on coming in and out of it. But every time I popped back in, it was neck and neck for me. Personally,
I bet it was. It was very clear. It was very clear what happened.
And personally, you know, I rock more the 2 Chainz joints personally. So whenever I pop back on 2 Chainz, but I'm not gonna hold that against Ross. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna keep it. For me, it was a tie.
Oh, so that's what we're going with.
Okay.
I love this guy.
But admittedly, I didn't see the whole thing.
Well, Wylson,
yeah,
you better not come to one of our episodes with some chick massaging you in the background.
Yeah, word.
Yeah, that was the greatest idea. Even 2 Chainz said it in that moment. He was like, I wish I thought. He was like, why didn't I think of that?
Well, that's because he brought strippers out and was making it rain. I remember y'all put it in the chat.
See,
and I was like,
missed that part.
Yeah, but I missed it too. I caught it on the replay because I was like, nah, that's his wife. Because I saw his wife walk in, so I'm like, nah, it's his wife and a friend or some shit. And then I saw the strippers. I said, okay, 2 Chainz got to the shits.
Did he do it? Yeah, I like them strippers. Yeah, I love them strippers.
Yeah,
Did he do that during it?
Yes.
That might have put him over the top.
And was making it rain, mind you.
But
during the
Come
performance.
on, fam. Now we're gonna celebrate that, but we're gonna damn Tory Lanez for doing it.
Just because you fade back,
it's not okay.
No, that's fine. But just that dramatic chair roll back, it doesn't like put an oomph on your point. Yes, we couldn't do it.
I'm just saying.
I just wanted to know how he wanted us to react to that, to the chair roll back.
Yeah,
No,
that's all I want to know.
I'm just saying because I remember a few episodes back when we brought up quarantine radio, it wasn't okay for all the, raunchiness, but now it is. Like we've been in COVID long enough. Now it's okay.
Wait, I don't know, but there was like chicks pouring milk down their cooch and.
That's what I'm saying. There's
a
lot going on.
That was a little different.
That happens when you're losing.
Yo, do strippers get unemployment?
Wait, nothing wrong with 2 Chainz bringing some essential workers into the scene.
Do strippers get unemployment?
They're independent.
Wait, what?
They're technically independent contractors.
So do they get unemployment or?
No.
No, I don't think so.
They're independent contractors. Right. They're not. Yeah. They don't work for the establishment. They go there to perform their art.
Yeah.
And they have to pay to be there. They're paying. They get portions of their money that they earn back to the club.
So there's
that way the club. They're all independent contractors. Because if not, then the gentleman's club is on the line for 50 persons in insurance.
I need to hear from the stripper community. There should be a document. There should be a documentary on this. No, seriously, I want to know how they're handling COVID. I care. I'm a man of the people.
Only fans.
I care about all the people. Only fans.
All the people. All right.
Okay.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button, be notified for your latest to the greatest episodes. Also, be sure to engage and join the Discord, as well as follow us on all social medias. I am one of the hosts, Brandon Killabh Hall.
I'm Erin Ashley Simon.
I am the regular Nas.
I'm Wylson.
Chris.
Nas, you don't do names anymore?
Hold on, let Chris finish it. Chris got to finish it. Take us off. Take us home, Chris.
And it's Chris.
All
right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to the beach.
Word. Peace. Y'all be cool, y'all.
I'm jealous.
I'm jealous.
Grassroots.